Good morning, children. Good morning, children. So today we'll continue yesterday chapter of heat. Okay. So yesterday we studied about two things about a thermometer. One is clinical thermometer and another is normally generally we use a laboratory thermometer. Laboratory thermometer. So these thermometers measure the heat of the body, but clinical thermometer measures only heat of the body of human beings, but laboratory thermometer will be used or can be used to measure heat of any substance like liquid, even sometimes solid, mostly liquids. Okay. Now we will try to find how the heat is transferred, how we can measure even the heat is transferred. Okay. So transfer of heat take place in which way? Okay. So you might have observed that the frying pan becomes hot when kept on a flame. Why? See, it is because the heat passes from the flame in the utensil. From flame it passes, heat passes to the utensils. Okay. Means if this is a burner, okay, if this is a burner, so you have kept one utensil here, okay, so you have kept some object, so heat from flame passes to the burner and there is a, or pan, you can take pan also, okay, from heat from the burner passes to the pan. I think pan is also having a handle here, okay, just after sometimes you off the knob of the burner, then keep it for cooling. So what happens here, the heat from the burner passes to the utensil becomes hot, and in whatever the things you have put inside it becomes hot. So you are preparing tea or you have put water, becomes hot. Then later you off the burner, then you keep it aside. So afterwards you see the heat which is present in the tumbler or the container or the substance which is hot becomes cold. But how, where does the heat go? Okay, you can understand that in both cases the heat flows from hotter object to a colder object because the flame is hot, okay, hot object, okay, then from flame the heat passes to the what, colder object, okay, again when it becomes hot, then what, this heat, the heat present in the utensil or container passes from this container to the surrounding, okay. So by this we can say that heat passes from a hotter object to the colder object. In fact, in all cases heat flows from hotter to colder object. Okay, I will try it for one simple experiment. Okay, in general, see, you take a rod or flat strip which is made up of iron or aluminium. Okay, you take a strip like this, then here here you fix wax, candle wax you can fix here, okay, and this you fix for a stand. There is stand here, you can keep one below other like this stand, you can keep below one below other, stand will be there like this, okay. So here you are kept one below other fixed to the stand like this. Then so what you do, you start heating, you take a candle and fix here, You take a candle and start heating the corner at the end of the strip. This is a metal strip, iron or aluminum. You start heating. So when you observe there, what happens to the wax? So do all the wax which you have fixed, they will fall down? No. First this will melt. Again this will melt. Again this will melt. Again this will melt. Again this will melt. Then, so how do you see that? By seeing wax is melting, you understand that heat is transferred from hotter to colder. Here it is hot. Okay. And here it is cold. So from heat, so this will get heated and here it will get heated. So heat transfers from hotter to colder region. In that way, the heat passes from one end of the metal to the other end. Okay. So this process by which heat is transferred from hotter object to colder, hotter end. See, from the hotter end of the colder end, means from hotter end to the colder end of an object. From hotter to the colder end of an object is known as conduction. It's called conduction. Okay. So conduction is a process where the heat is transferred from hotter region to the colder region, or hotter object to the colder object. So generally, mostly in solids, this type of heat we can see, because heat is transferred especially in the case of solids. Okay. And you must observe that metallic pan for cooking has a plastic wooden handle. Why? Suppose there is a cooking handle. This is a cooking handle. So this is metal, even though this is made up of a metal. So this cooking handle is made up of non-metal, like plastic we can take. Like plastic or fiber. But why we should use this? What is the reason for this? Okay, so can you lift a hot pan by holding it from the handle without getting hurt? So easily you are able to lift even though it is hot, because the heat is not transferred from, even though heat is passed, but here this is, the heat is not transferred from metal to the plastic object, because heat is transferred from metal to the metal only. Okay, so this will act as an insulator. It will act as a insulator. Okay, so metals are generally good conductors of heat and electricity. Okay, so non-metals like plastic, rubber, wood, they all are non-conductors. Okay, then so what you do, one simple activity, heat water in a small pan or beaker. First you take water, heat it in a small pan or a beaker. So after heating that water, such as collect some articles such as steel, spoon, plastic scale, pencil and divider. Okay, so they all the things which is told here, like plastic pen is there, scale is there, divider is there. Okay, spoon is there. So what you do, dip each end of each of the article in the water, in water. After dipping, you wait for 5 minutes. Okay, then touch the other end of of your observation. Suppose if this is a spoon, you dip it and keep it for a while, for a few minutes or for 5 minutes. Okay, then you go on recording the observation. So what do you say there? The pencil which is made up of wood will not get heated. It is as usual normal. Steel scale becomes hot. Spoon becomes hot. Means, so heat passes from hot, water is hot. So from water the heat passes to the scale. So this scale feels as cold for you, because heat transfer means these are the material like plastic or wooden scale, wooden pencil. These will not allow the heat to pass through them. Okay, suppose you take pencil is there, sorry, steel pen is there or copper pen is there. or metallic rod is there dipped in water. It has become what? Why? So these materials are called conductor. Means the materials which allow heat to pass through them are called conductors. Example, iron, copper, silver, gold. Okay. So in the electric wire, what we use here? We use copper or we use aluminum because they are good conductors of electricity. So that passing of heat is will take place through a process called conduction. Means it is a solid. So from solid, what happens here in solid? So heat passes from a hot region to cold region. Okay. Then again there are materials which do not allow heat to pass through them. So they are called poor conductors. Example, many are plastic, eraser, pencil. These all are called poor conductors, and they are also known as insulators. Conductors, opposite is insulator. Okay. Here, the water and air are poor conductors of heat. Okay. So these water and air are poor conductors of heat. Water and air are poor conductors of heat. Means they do not allow heat to pass through them. Okay. Then how does the heat transfer take place in these substances? How the heat will take place? Transfer of heat will take place. Okay. So there is one more simple experiment for you. Instead of this, okay. So if there is a flask called round bottom flask, there is a round bottomed flask. Okay. Round bottomed flask will be there. Okay, this flask, to this flask what you add? You add water. You keep water in the flask. Okay. So there you heat. There is water here. Okay. There is a burner. So first you take round bottom flask. If the flask is not as available, you can use beaker also. Okay. Fill it 2/3 of water. You fill it with 2/3 part of this with water. Then place it on a tripod stand. Tripod stand means actually there will be 3 legs. One is behind 3D base, which you can't see. 3 legs tripod stand. Okay. So place it on a tripod or make some arrangement to place the flask in such a way that you can heat it by placing a candle below it. You can heat it by using a candle below it. Okay. So here place a crystal of potassium permanganate at the bottom of the flask gently using a straw. So at the bottom, this bottom, there is a chemical substance called potassium permanganate. A small piece you can take, potassium permanganate, which is dark pinkish in color. Okay, one small piece you keep here. Okay. Using a straw, you can use a straw and slowly, gently you keep at the bottom. Now heat the water by placing the candle just below the crystal. So here, if candle is kept here just below the crystal, you keep the candle and start heating. So you go on writing the observation. So when water is heated, the water near the flame gets hot. The water which is near the flame gets hot. But the water which is at the top, it is not hot. Initially, starting. Okay. So hot, see, when water is heated, the water near the flame gets hot. So hot water, this hot water only what happens here? This hot water rises up. because heat transferred from hot region to cold region. So this hot water gets heated, and they go on moving. Okay. So cold water from the sides move down towards the source of heat. So wherever the water is cold beside here side the side, they start moving up, because the water which is hot in this place, they are moving at the top, middle they are coming. So due to that, they will occupy the space here, hot water occupies space. So beside there is cold water. This cold water will come at the bottom, and they also get heated. They also get what? Heated. Okay. So heat is transferred in this way. So this water also, this water also gets hot and rises, and the water from the sides moves down. Again, from the water from the sides moves down. Again, this is a continuous process. Okay. So this process continues till the complete water gets heated. This mode of heat transfer is known as convection. It's called convection. Means, so how does heat travel in air? So this heat in the liquids take place by a process called convection. What? Convection. Okay. So how does the heat travel in air? How does heat energy transfer in air? In which direction does the smoke go? Which we cannot say how it is possible to find it. Okay. Actually what happens? The air near the heat source gets hot and rises. Wherever there is hotness, near that place, that heat, due to that heat source, the air gets heated. Okay. And it rises. The air gets heated and it rises up. The air from the sides comes into because when the heat has come up, like this is case of water, liquid. If this is, suppose if I say this is air, okay, this is air, this is hot region. So this first air moves to this place, hot region, and when it moves here, when this becomes hot, this air again moves back, which is to the cold region. Means the particles of the air where they are present in the beside the air which is cold, these all particles will come down. So again they will get heated. So in that way heat circulates from particle to particle in the air. So the air from the sides comes in to take its place. In this way the air gets heated. So the following activity, one activity I will explain, then it will be little clear for you. Okay children, we will do one thing, we will continue the same what activity or concept in the next class. Thank you.